2024 NYU ITP IMA Spring Show. These are recently possibly found.
Hello, everybody. Hi, YouTube and friends on the internet. I can't believe I'm here introducing the ITP IMA. What is this, the spring? I'm looking at people to the left and right of me to tell me what to say, but I'm just going to have to make it up. Spring 2024 show. So my name is Dan Schiffman. I've been teaching here at this program at NYU at Tisch School of the Arts for around 20 years. I used to operate this live stream where we bring the people of the internet into our space to show them all of the wonderful things that are happening here that the students have been making all semester, all year. I used to operate this stream by myself, walking around with just like a little phone and no microphone, but we have a wonderful, incredible professional group of students who are going to show you everything that's happening, introduce you to creativity and all sorts of strange and weird, new and exciting, unusual, human-centered ways of using technology. And I've been walking around and just amazed and excited by all the projects. So I'm just saying hello and welcome. Thank you to allowing me to be here with you for a minute. And I'm going to turn it over to the students, Siri, who is going to give us, tell you more and take you around the floor.
Thank you so much, Dan. I'm taking over right now, and let's go around the floor and see what we got for this year. Hi. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about the project?
Hi, my name is Astro, and this is a project called Rage Box. Rage Box is a box that contains a wooden arm, and it's also a container for rage, the human emotion. And once you click the big red button, it provokes like a rage kind of mimicking emotion or reaction. And it's supposed to be entertaining, and it is a mechanical device.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
So if you click the big red button, the arm is going to bang on the table and it is going to scream. And it is supposed to entertain you and be an outlet for your inner frustration.
Can I try it?
Yeah, of course.
So just press this button.
And it gets stuck sometimes.
Okay, can you tell us like why do you want to make this project?
Oh, I got really frustrated while I was making electronics, and I wanted to make a healthy outlet for my rage, and that's how I ended up making this rage box.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else to share?
My website is astrolee.com, ASTROLEE.com.
Thank you so much.
Hey, hello. How am I looking? I didn't put makeup on.
Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hello, my name is Ryan. So this is my all-in-one AI chatbot for NYU related inquiries. So it's based on GPT's model, and I made an interface for that using Swift UI. So that will be running on mobile iPhones. So you can ask anything. So let me show you around. So, if you don't know what to ask, you always click help. So you can ask about weather, NYU shuttle locations. So let's say if you want to ask, what's the next bus leaving 370J to Manhattan? Boom. And it will fetch you the data like that. So it's leaving in 19 minutes. So if you're going to Manhattan, you better get ready. It also knows your class schedule, my next class. And you can ask way beyond that, like how do I get a job here? So a lot of people are concerned about that. Well, concern is no more. Here, the solution is here. When it comes to cases like this, it's gonna fetch you with the link. So when you click on that link, it takes you to where it is. So there's other things you could ask, such as recommend me a project in this show. So for those first comers, it could be a little bit confusing. So recommend me a project to see here. So it's gonna fetch you this one. Okay, this is completely random. It points to where it is. So I'm sure that you guys might cover this at some point.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything else to share?
Do I have anything else to say? Oh, my contact information? Sure. That's a weird way of asking it. So it's jrhan.net for my website and jerry.ryan.han for my Instagram. That's it. You want mint candy? Have a good
Thank
day.
you so much.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Hi, can you introduce yourself and project?
Hi, I'm Ananya, and my project is Give Me Life, a selection of wishes.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
Okay, so basically, it's an AR scannable coffee table book made out of AI generated images. So I can show you how one works. So basically, you scan and you're prompted to find an image. So this is what that looks like. So if you hover over it and you go down here, you'll see the 3D AR pop up, and it's kind of like a storybook diorama, a little bit reminiscing our childhoods. So the other things that are scannable as well are the posters over here. And this is from the photo shoot that's inspired this book. And there are blurbs. It's audio AR, so blurbs from the interviews about the lived experience, how people reframe their traumas, how we go about living life without spiraling downwards a little.
Can you tell us about like why do you want to make this project?
Yeah. So basically, this is inspired by all of the most resilient people I know in my life, and everyone has just been through so much, especially with so many world traumas as well as personal traumas in the last few years. And I really wanted to reframe our negative experiences in a positive and whimsical light. And so this project takes all of that and turns it into something very beautiful and really amazing to look at instead of just dark and dim and trauma.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add on, or can you share your contact information?
Yes, I can. Here. You can find all my projects and my contact information at ananyaakela.com. Oh no. Here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Right. I'm Yu Xiang. I'm a junior at IMA, and I'm a representative of our project group, which is it's a special project in Spring Show because we are a research group under the department, and we are starting with this big kind of research project that's called Chat ITP. It's a we're trying to develop this large language model that's using the, the data in the project database for this many years. You can see it goes back to CZ Spring 1981. With all these data, we're gonna build like an open source large language model that's just like ChatGPT. It's a chatbot that's specific to our department and to media arts and creative technology.
So, what's your inspiration of making this project?
Yeah, basically it's part of this AI hype, right? And also is that we really think we have a specific genre, a specific style of all the works we have in our department, and with that we can kind of like conclude or like summarize the genre of our department. Also use it to help students, alumni, even professors to like gather and contextualize their work, contextualize their progress to make it connected to all the previous previous works by everything came before.
Is there any specific technology that you want to talk about that you use in this project?
Yeah, we have this architecture here. We are using the open source large language model called Llama. It's from Meta, and we have this architecture to it's a basic architecture to build like a large language model application, and we are looking at to finish it next show in the spring in the winter show by the end of the year, and also we are looking to have the image model integrated, so it will be a multimodal uh, AI application.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yes, I'm Daniel Y, and this is my project Symbiosis.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
So, with my thesis, I wanted to explore the concept of slowness. And so, a lot of generative arts now, computational generative arts, it's like a video and then it loops, and you don't really get to play with it. And so, I wanted to give people the opportunity to play with a system and see it change over time. And so, over here on the table, I've got these little inductive LEDs. And so, as you can see right now, the system is like kind of chaotic and random. But as I move it towards the center, it's going to light up and it's going to respond here. And so the idea is each one of these little creatures utilizes a machine learning model to learn where that orb is. And so over time, they're going to gradually attract towards that orb. And so the idea is if you come in at the start of the day, you should see a difference at the end of the day. And so I wanted to be able to embed that change over time. And then I also wanted to allow people to play with it communally. So the idea is like someone might come in and arrange these little lights in a certain way, and then they're gonna leave, and then someone else is gonna change it up, and then they're gonna come back, and then they're gonna see the changes of their action in real time. And so by observing it, you should be able to infer how the system works and just be able to actually understand it versus like just looking at it and being like, I guess it works. This symbiosis changes over time and responds to human interaction.
So, what's your inspiration of making this project?
So personally, I've always been really interested in generative arts. I'm always interested in like science and especially physics, using calculations and mathematics to kind of like represent natural movement. And the fact that it can be computed just opens a lot of possibilities in terms of creating visual art. And so I think I want my main inspiration is just trying to recreate natural systems computationally and allowing people to watch it, to learn from it, and play with it.
Okay, do you have anything else to add on?
Um, yeah, no, I think this is kind of like a culmination of a lot of things I learned in ITP, trying to design an interactive system versus the computational side of the generative system. And it just all kind of came together for my thesis.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. 就是。
2024 NYU IDP IMA Spring Show. These are recently possibly found.
My name is Zoe Ferguson, and my project is Ultra Ears. Also, pet project through your pet's ears. And the general gist is that our hearing stops at 20,000 hertz, but cats and many animals can hear so much beyond that. And so I made some ears that pitch down ultrasonic sound and let you hear the world through your pet's ears.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
My project is mainly a wearable. So it's a wearable headset, and you put on the fuzzy cat ears, and then you turn them on with this little volume knob, and the sound comes out through whatever headphones you want, but I've got these bone conduction ones that bring down ultrasound into vibrations that you can hear, and then you can play with different materials. Why she would be reacting so strong, and I found that there's all of this sound that we're completely oblivious to. And so when I started tuning into that, and I was using some bat detector technology and ultrasonic microphones, I just found there's this whole world of sound. that in a cute, fun way, we can see through the ears of our pets, but also in a more general way, we can understand our human noise pollution and just be more aware of our world.
That's a really cool project. Like, how can people get one of that for themselves?
So I'm potentially going to be selling them in the future, and I've got an interest form. So I have a site right now where it shows some information, and there's also an interest form. And this is the QR code for the interest form, sorry, for the site with information. And on it also, there is this interest form where you can let me know that you would like to buy a pair in the future. The website itself is skygazedesigns.cargo.site/ultra-ears.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have anything else to add on?
No, thank you for coming by.
Thank you. I'm interviewing. Oh, you're interviewing? Oh, okay. Okay. Do you want to be interviewed right now? Right now? Be interviewed. Okay. Yes. Wait, let me look these up. You don't want to spoil them. One thing. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yes. Hi, I'm Sadika. I'm a first year ITP student. This is My City Rebus Brooklyn edition. This is a tabletop game that I designed for my class designing curiosity portals. And I designed this basically for Willoughby Street next door. We did this at a public event there. Let me explain the game to you guys. So let's, this is the board game. Each of these tiles has a rebus puzzle. A rebus puzzle uses words, pictures, letters, numbers to represent something. So each of these is a rebus puzzle, and this is Brooklyn edition. So each one represents a place or thing in Brooklyn. So you just guess, and the interaction is also partially with me. So it's really fun to play this game with me and guess, because I'll give you clues. And I've seen strangers come together and play this game and exchange numbers afterwards. So it is a really fun game. You can play it in a recreation setting, whatnot. I'll give you an example here. This one, let's see. Okay, this is one of my favorites, and it's also on the sticker. Bo, when is the sun out? Daytime, Bodega, because Goo Goo Gaga, Bodega. And like this one's J Street Metro Tech. So yeah, you should come before I give you all the answers. And I also explored like ways to do this in accessibly. So I have versions of these are printed on swell form paper. And this is to help folks who are blind or low vision so they can touch the icons and guess. And I also have printed out copies in case anyone wants to take them home. But yeah, come to come play My City Rebus with your friends.
So, like, what's your inspiration of making this project?
My inspiration is I used to do a uh, trivia class with kids, and they really like the Rebus puzzles. So I thought that would be great to bring to designing curiosity portals was a lot like a STEM accessibility class. So I thought this would be fun. I can make it educational. This is something I could bring to recreation. I also work for the New York City Parks Department, and I did a bigger version of this event in a racquetball room, and that went well. So I wanted to see if I could make other versions.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything else to add on?
Nothing. These are soft, so come play with them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
My name is Lily Crandall. My project is called A Familial Juncture.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
So it's an interactive textile showing of my family's history working in this building, 370 J Street. It used to be the headquarters for the MTA. And I found out recently that my great aunt, my great uncle, and my great grandpa all worked here in the 50s and 60s. So I've been doing a lot of research, archiving a lot of family photos, digitizing all that. And so I created this quilt as a way to explore the research that I've been doing in like a fun and playful kind of way.
Is there any techniques or technology that you use in this project that you want to talk about?
Sure. All of the images, except for one or two of them, were laser engraved onto the fabric, which was fun for me. I've done using a laser cutter to engrave on like wood and acrylic before, but using it for fabric was a new adventure for me, which was really fun.
Can we take a close look at your project? Do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I hope that people enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yeah, sure. I'm Parth. I'm currently in my first year at ITP. My project is nine. In the class of nine, I made the project called as Entangled Twins, which is a combination of nine MIDI instrument to perform music out.
How do people interact with your project?
Yeah, so basically it has three interactions. You can move your hand over here, which will play music. Then you can even touch the above ones, which will play a flute, and you can put your hand inside, which will play other music. So this is basically a flute. This is a string instrument, and the inside one is a percussion instrument, which is tabla.
Are there any technology or techniques that you use in this project?
Yeah. So basically, this is one of the piece. Over here, you'll be able to see that there are four pieces combined with it. So that's the analog flute, which are completely analogly used. This is a harp, which was controlled by motors, and then the last one, which is rain stick, which was controlled by just moving the rain sticks along. So basically, I would play one instrument on this one, which would then be reproduced by the analog ones, and that was a duet between both the instruments.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
Yeah, so initially I started with making analog instruments, trying to see how I could fix it and make an orchestra out of it, and that eventually turned out to becoming a duet performance between me playing this instrument and then also having the analog instruments play along with it.
Can we film like a demo of you playing this?
Sure.
That's a really cool project. Thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, my name is Angel, and this is my project, Right Love Passage. So it's a little bit of a physical manifestation of what I think represents like destiny and fate. So what they do is they come here and they pick a ball and they offer it to the flower in the shrine, and it swallows it and transforms it.
So is there any techniques or technology that you use in this project?
Yeah, I'm using a lot of pneumatics, so silicone that are pumped with air valves, so it like pushes it down. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's your inspiration of making this project?
Oh, I really like the idea of swallowing and how like forceful it is. It's like a very soft but also forceful motion, and I feel like that really represents how I feel about religion and how it like really shapes people in like a gentle but also forceful way.
Is there anything else that you want to share about this project?
Please come and try it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yeah, hi. So, hi everyone, I'm Dror Margalit, and this is my project Context, an AI powered learning platform tailored to learners' goals, needs, and learning preferences.
So how do people interact with your project?
So, when users join the platform, we understand who they are and what they want to learn. And then we use AI to generate their entire learning journey from the user plan, the learning plan to the content itself and everything in between, and the feedback and support.
What is like the technology or techniques that you use in the project?
So we use a large language model and AI tools to understand about the learner and what their learning needs are. And then we use the large language models to generate content based on whatever they need. So if, for instance, they prefer to read more, we will generate more reading material. If they prefer to get more hands-on exercises, we will generate more hands-on exercises.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
When I was a teenager, I really couldn't fit in the educational system, and I almost dropped out of high school. And I realized that when we have one size fits all learning platforms or learning experiences, many learners are left behind. So I wanted to create a learning plan that is very adaptive to whatever each learner needs to really succeed in the way that is most suitable for them.
So how can people find you online and learn more about your project?
So they can go to context-learn.com and find all the information about the project and my contact information.
Thank you so much. Love your project.
2024 NYU IDP IMA Spring Show. These are recently possibly found.
I am 4041142. Nice to meet you.
Anshu, despertá.
Despierta, hijo.
Andrés, despierta.
Hermano, despierta.
Despertar. ¿Cómo despierto de este sueño? Mamá, ¿cómo le digo a mi niño interno que desapareciste cuando tenía 9 años? Papá, ¿cómo le digo a mi niño interno que se recupere de tu ira y de tu miedo? ¿Cómo le digo que no estás solo? ¿Cómo? Dime. Ven, la puerta está abierta. Ven, vamos. Vamos a caminar juntos.
Eric 宝宝，你要吃汉堡包？对，妈咪买给你。
Hear the body cycle walking through the jungle. Listen what I'm searching for. When I just think I can hold it again. Oh my friend, when I just a little dreaming for the crystal should I bury in my soul? It's time, just let it go.
NYU IDP IMA Spring Show. These are recently possibly found.
Hi, can you
Sure. Hi, my name is Ming, and I'm a senior from PH School of the Arts at New York University. So this is my project, Color Sense. So Color Sense is basically it's a revolutionary app powered by AI that can provide personalized recommendations for individuals with different types of color blindness. So in this case, with a simple tap of the detect button, user will be able to see the color on the color scale, which as you can see on the top, as well as a text panel that will display the information about that color. Yeah.
So how can people interact with your project?
Yeah, sure. So people can start by scanning their surrounding, and then as they scan their surrounding, they will be able to see the information on the top on the color spectrum here, as well as the information here. It will tell them the description of the color as well as the title of that color.
Can you do a small demo for us?
Sure, of course. So here's a quick demo I've made. So for example, as you can see, I can use my phone and then point it at any object. So in this case, I can point it at the bottle. So it will show like it's purple, and then I can also show it like, for example, if I'm pointing at this metro car, it will show the yellow as well as a blue color that will display. So it visualize the color on the spectrum. So those with color blindness can know like where the color sits, because and also I also have some sample items like here, like this is a orange hoodie, and this is so like it can kind of tell the different types of color. So if I move closer to here, you can tell the red as well. And I can also try to point it here. It will to tell the picture. Yeah.
So what's the technology that you use in this project?
Yes. So I make use of I reference multiple libraries, so including the P5 library as well as IRO.js and the color API. I also use Figma to create a prototype, and I use Optimal Workshop for conducting user research and usability testing.
So what's your next step with this project?
Yeah. So for a more inclusive experience and enhanced accessibility, I do plan on incorporating an additional form of output in the form of the haptic response. So people with other forms of visible or invisible disability can also use my app.
So how can we find you online and know more about your project?
Yeah, so feel free to find me on my Instagram at mf_space and visit my website at mfstyle.net.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yes, hi, my name is Kay Wassel, and this is my project Boundless.
How do you expect people to interact with your project?
So mine is definitely one that's more of a visual project. So you just look at it, it's not really reactive, but this is a programmable LED grid, so you can change the patterns and text on it to display basically whatever you can program into it in the code. There's some video of it running there. And then this one just does an LED pulse, but it also has a microcontroller on there, so you could change the display patterns.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
So I knew that I wanted to make an LED grid, and I was really interested in making a wearable one. I have a background in costume design. And I wanted to make an LED grid that was flexible, not because it was like mounted to plastic or fabric, but because like the LED grid itself was flexible. So I had this idea to use a technique like you would use for jewelry making or for chainmail, to take like a rigid thing and then link it together so that you've got this really flexible programmable LED grid without it being like mounted on something or hidden. And then it also showcases like the actual form factor of the circuit boards and the LED themselves. Yeah, and I went from there, made it dress size.
How can we find you online and know more about your project?
So you can find more about it on the ITP thesis webpage. This is my thesis project. And my website is kwasil.com, KWASIL.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, I'm Zoe. This is and I'm Rumik.
Can you tell us about your project?
So our project is a MIDI controller made for design interface for live performance course. And these are our performance videos. Yeah. And we made it into like a interactive installation for the show, so people can actually just touch on any of the buttons on our controller, and then like change the music tracks and all the visuals in the back. Yeah.
And our design concept was about self-exploring and displacement. So you can see like scattered fragmented body parts on the Chinese character 我, which is me in English. And that was about it.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
Our inspiration?
Inspiration. So we kind of like, we're international students, so we always struggle about like identities and stuff like during our like studies, like in another studying abroad. So we kind of like based on the concept of like identities and like displacement. So yeah.
For visual references, I think we both like really colorful millennials kind of visual style. So we kind of just
You see me? I like this kind of style. So like, it's like very it's like cute and also like feels kind of messy, and it's like dreamy. It's just like us like wandering around like a ideal world.
I guess complication, but in a cute way.
Yeah, in a cute way. Yeah, that can be really cute.
How can we find you online and know more about your project?
So we haven't posted anything about this project yet, but we will on our like personal Instagram, like art accounts and stuff. Yeah. Is it like on? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, my name is Kashka, and this is called Semesta.
So how can people interact with your project?
So they can look through these objects, which are they're fictional, historical fiction objects. I made some of them, most of them, and people can look through it and learn from it.
Is there any techniques or technology that you use in this project?
So I use a bunch of sculpting methods. I welded these scissors and bent metal. I 3D printed the water bottle, and I use a lot of like classic techniques like plaster, and the rest are like a lot of graphic design, digital graphic design. Yeah.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
So I was inspired by, I guess, there's this video game called Gone Home, which is like pretty popular. But I was thinking, or like also escape rooms where people can learn a story through interacting with like the objects. And so that was like a lot of my inspiration. But also a lot of movies and like set design in movies and how people make sets for a particular story or particular character.
I really like your project. Thank you so much. Hi. Can you introduce?
Oh yeah.
Can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, I'm Zoe Margolis. I'm a second year ITP student, and this is my thesis project, Cybernetic Daydreams.
How can people interact with your project?
So the project itself is a lot of creative writing, and I pulled two scenes from it into what you see here. This is a VR scene focused on this courtyard. It introduces a lot of the story, the places, the characters, and what's going on in this world. And then over on my other computer, I've got footage of a performance I did last week of the second scene. In this scene, my main character is getting a cybernetic chip implanted in her brain so she can telepathically control her technology. My project's about transhumanism and cybernetics, our personal relationships to technology, and what it all means as we move forward.
Can you tell us about the techniques or technology that you use in this project?
Yeah, so the base of it is creative writing. The VR piece I created in Unreal and I'm showing through a Quest 2. And then in the performance, I also had a little Unreal scene that I was navigating with a game controller and then telepathically movie magic.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
This came from a lot of the research and development I did in the fall semester for thesis. Got very into forms of non-human intelligence, like other types of animals and stuff, as well as a lot of cybernetics and speculative fiction. I was reading a lot of novels.
That's a really cool project. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, I'm Georgia. This is Samantha. This is Trumo. And then we also have another teammate, Cindy. So we built this together with the NYU Applied Mathematics Lab, and it's all about wind formations and Yarden landscapes. So quickly walking through, should I walk through? Yeah, to walk through the project, you will pick a model and you will put it on the conveyor belt.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. Start the conveyor belt. Yeah, and then it will go into the machine and it will show you the scientific factors of erosion, and then it will give you an educational and fun kind of play approach towards Yarden landscapes.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
So we're actually in a class called Playful Communication, so serious research. And then so we're working with a researcher from the math lab, and then we use his paper to form this whole thing.
So can you talk about like the technology that you use in this project?
So we basically built out this whole physical installation, and then we magically made the erosion objects appear in the center with Arduino and web-based development stuff. Yeah.
How can we find you online and learn more about this project?
Feel free to. There's a little information panel over there. You can take for the little card that has all of our information.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yes, I'm Jack. I'm a first-year student at ITP, and this is my project, Block Mirror. It's a playful mirror that reflects people's image in the form of blobs, and also depending on your body pose, it plays different notes, play like different melody based on your pose, and also yeah, your arms, your legs. So it can work for up to 2 people, and you can just interact and have fun.
So what's the technology that you use for this project?
So the whole project is built with web technology. So a lot of JavaScript. To be specific, I'm using like P5.js for the visual. I'm using ML5.js for tracking the body, which is using TensorFlow.js under the hood. I'm using Tone.js for the Tone.js for the music, for the sound, and also I'm using writing shader for the visual. Some of the exact visual I'm using shader. Yeah.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
So my inspiration, I think the first time I've seen a mirror-like project is Danny Rosen's The Wooden Mirror that's sitting right in at the entrance of the ITP. So and then I just find how people just it's people never get bored of playing in front of it, and people just love having fun in front of mirrors. So that's when I started doing a lot of works that utilize that idea that transform people's image to mirror. And yeah, that's sort of where it started, and I've been doing a lot of similar work ever since. Yeah.
How can we find you online and learn more about your project?
Yeah, so I've been posting like daily P5 and other kind of creative coding sketches on Instagram. My Instagram is Jack B Do, so JACKBDU, and that's yeah, that's my Instagram. You can follow there and see my project.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, my name is Michelle Wu, and I'm a second year here at ITP. My project is my thesis. It's called I'm Tired of Cleaning Your Mess. So I basically programmed the robotic arm to do a performance. In this performance, I'm trying to comment on automation. So when we're being sold automation, we're always told that automation has like 100% success rate, but it almost never does. And I always realize I'm spending more time cleaning up its mess than enjoying its convenience. So this performance is 3 acts. Each act starts with a few perfect executions, and then they have their own unique failure. The first 2 times after it fails, I come on stage, I clean up its mess, I restart the process. By the third time, I'm fed up of doing it, so I turn off the machine, do the task myself, and then leave. So the 3 different ways machines fail highlighted in this project is also unique. The first one is when machine fails and it realizes it's failing, so it kind of just waits for further assistance. The second one, it fails and it tries really hard to rectify its own mistake, but it still fails. By the third time, it fails, but it doesn't even realize it's failing. It's like keeps functioning in the most dysfunctional way. And at that point is when I go on stage, turn off the machine, and then leave. So by making this piece, I'm encouraging my audiences to think about consequences when it comes to automation failure and whether automation is bringing us more or less convenience.
Okay, can you tell us about like what technology that you use in this project?
Yeah, so I actually bought this robotic arm made by this company, Elephant Robotics, and they offer a lot of ways for you to animate it. I opted for using the Python API to send specific angles to each of the servo motor.
Okay, how can we find you online and learn more about your project?
So you can either find me on Instagram at michellemqwu.studio or my portfolio website, michellemqwu.me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
My name is Shahnigar. It's my project. It's named Ben. Hug me if you feel lonely. The doll's name is Ben, and it is emotional support doll that helps you like alleviate sadness and loneliness. It has heartbeats, and also it can hug you back. But right now, motors aren't working really. But heartbeat is there, and I think that, and also there is little station where you can write about something that you're worried about and leave it to him, like little therapy emotional moments. Yeah, and personally I also like to hug people and feel their heartbeat, and it's really helped me to feel better, so that's why I was inspired to build this project.
How can a device help the NYU community, works and students?
I think it can help NYU community by like a lot of students when they get tired or emotional, they need some help, and it can really be there for you, and you can hug it and just have some time, rest. Yeah, I think it's needed.
Okay, thank you so much. I love your project. Thank you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yeah, my name is Max Chu. My project is Let Me Collect Myself. It is a sort of commentary. We're creating a metaphorical data set in order to create commentary about machine learning.
So how can people interact with your project?
So what happens is I have this table right here, and I have someone sit across from me, and I give them a minute and a half, and I ask them to draw a picture of me, and then that goes into the data set, and I get pictures like this, and then they go up on my wall.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
Some of the projects that I've talked about in the past that was inspiration was a project by Anne Riddler called Myriad Tulips, and it's a picture. It's 10,000 images that they took of 10,000 different tulips. Essentially, the what we're both in conversation with is this idea that the data sets that train machine learning models such as Dolly and like ChatGPT and stuff like that are inherently unethical. And a lot of the images in the data sets are stolen, and a lot of the images have been processed through uh, labor that is sort of unethically treated. A lot of this labor is outsourced to other countries, which have like reduced labor laws, and a lot of the tagging systems that go into it are done through these like external services, such as like Fiverr or Amazon's Mechanical Turk. And I'm trying to create conversation around this unfortunate practice. Yeah, and that's the main goal of my project.
Yeah, that's a really cool project. How can we find you online and learn more about your project?
Uh, the project you can find on Instagram at 10,000 the number plus spelled out plus and then two the number, and then my website is maxchew.cargo.site. If you want to see any more of my work, I do a lot of like book work and editing and writing and stuff like that. It's very exciting.
Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
by.
Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, my name's Sophia Edwards. I'm a graduating senior at IMA, and this is my project Backstitch. It's an ancestral knowledge recovery archive that is using Black quilt making traditions as well as storytelling devices in order to tell more about my family's history almost entirely through symbols.
How can people interact with your project?
So it's audio reactive, and all of the visuals are being live generated with Resolute Marina and Isadora. It's something that you can sit back and watch. I have a chair and table set up. I also have a zine that you can read in order to get more context about the project. And yeah, also I do have my setup where I can take the quilt off the frame so you can have time to sit with it and touch it with your hands more if you want to learn more about it through other ways.
So what are some technology that you use in this project?
So yes, for the projection, I used Resolute Marina and Isadora, but to actually make the quilt, I used the industrial sewing machine, domestic sewing machine, the Cricut to cut out all of my recycled fabric, and that was pretty much, I think, it for, oh, and Adobe Illustrator to make the symbols.
How can we find you online and learn more about your project?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at picklesxnickels or my website, www.sophiaedw.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, can you introduce yourself and your project?
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Han. Should I look at that? Or hi, I'm Han. I'm a graphic designer and artist, and I am graduating this year in ITP. And this is my project called Cytokinesis. It is a project art installation envision the membrane of human intimacy.
Okay, talk about like what techniques or technology that you use in this project.
Of course, I did a lot of digital fabrication, so you can see the spines on the bed frame itself. They're all 3D modeled by myself, and then I printed them out. And for the interaction, these are using MQTT connection. So whenever I approach it here, the other side of the membrane will shrink and shrunk based on my distance being received here. So they're doing wireless connections in a reciprocal way.
So what's your inspiration of making this project?
Yeah, there's a little story by Schopenhauer on the human intimacy thresholds called the Hedgehog Dilemma, and it's about in winter's night when hedgehog train together, they would gain warmness, but because they have coals on their body, they wouldn't get too close. So I want to play around the idea of human intimacy in that context.
How can we find you online and learn more about your project?
Yeah, I have my website linked called hanzh.cargo.site. That is my personal website. You can also find my projects over there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi guys, we are the live stream production team and we are coming back from the break. Let's go and check the rest of the project with us. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Hi, my name is Allison, and this is my project for my heteronormative parents. Basically, I have this inside joke with my friends that since I'm a lesbian, my parents would be elated or they'd be jumping for joy if I actually brought home a boyfriend. And so this is the personification of that, basically. I'd imagine that this would be posted inside my parents' house right by the entrance. And if I were to actually bring home a boyfriend, they'd love to celebrate or they'd be internally celebrating. So they would take this hammer and break open the box. And there's confetti poppers inside that are meant for my dad and for my mom. And they would pop the confetti and celebrate. But the point is, and since this was for my useless machines class, the point is that it's virtually useless, given that the glass is really hard to break because it's actually plastic and the hammer is pretty weak. It can't break anything. And the point is being that I'm never going to bring home a boyfriend or be straight. And yeah, that's why I made this.
Can you tell us the process of making this?
So I basically really wanted to make this look like a fire extinguisher box, and so I had to make a lot of meticulous choices about material and coloring. And so I started off with looking for, 'cause this is made out of wood, so I started looking for wood with really smooth surfaces, and so I picked MDF wood and just cut it up, screwed it all together, and then I had to make that choice between should I work with real glass or should I work with plastic. But I like the fact that the plastic is really hard to break, so I picked that instead. And yeah, everything else here you see, like the hammer's 3D printed, the hooks are 3D printed, and if you get really close, you can see that the labels on the confetti poppers themselves, it says now with, and then there's penis-shaped confetti, and inside the confetti poppers are actually penis-shaped confetti along with black and white confetti. And the black and white is meant to represent the straight pride flag. And the penis-shaped confetti is just like, it's a small joke about, if I were to bring home a boyfriend, that means that I like dick, and which, I won't. So that pretty much sums it up.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
You can contact me at my work email, which is Chan. Allison is ALLYSON 02 @gmail.com, and my portfolio will also be in the QR code linked here. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell us your name and your project? Wait. My name's Yuna. Our project is a playful reinterpretation of the Antikythera mechanism, which is an artifact that was made at least 2,000 years ago. It was a peer operated analog computer kind of thing that established a relationship between calendar dates and celestial body alignments. So we are taking the elements of that mechanism and reinterpreted it a little bit. Here you can first put your birthday in by turning the dials, and then you can see the gears moving, computing the data, and this side you will see the light comes up, and this is your star chart. So the sun, moon, Venus, Mars, and Mercury, Jupiter.
And you also get a reading, astrology reading from a historical text that's from 2nd century CE, and it's printing.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this project?
We have some rotary encoder mapping. The box is CNC. I think we use Python to link everything. So there's some like Arduino microcontrollers and Python programs connecting. And then I think we're also using API to get the star charts. For example, Joyce here worked on another.
So it's like after you got the horoscope reading, there's like this part like has the ancient Greek sign or star sign, and you put it here, you'll be able to like know more about it. Like this one is like Germany, and like their nature is like being Joe nature, which reflects their ability to see both sides of any situation. So like here we have like some people previously left where they have God from our installation, and there's like their horoscope reading, and also like a very brief structure illustration of the anti-cathedral mechanism. And we also have like explanation of the whole project here. So originally I have the research with Dr. Alexander Jones, and he involved in like this research called this is like the first analog computer ancient Greek people used for like horoscope reading, and they use just very simple mechanisms, no, very complex mechanisms and gears to calculate their own horoscope. So I try to do like this reinterpretation of it.
Is there any things you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
Yeah, we have our group contact on that board. Can you please go there? Like, because we made like 4 people together. Here. So like it's a group work of 4 people. If you're interested in to learn more or like try to contact us, you can just write email to any of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Oh, hi. Sorry. Can you tell us your name and your project?
Sure. Hi, my name is Nathan Towns Anderson. This project is called Shader Sketches, and it's a series of in-browser sketches running on Firefox on Raspberry Pi 4s, and it's using the 3JS JavaScript library and GLSL, which is the shader language. So it's basically these 3D geometries that are then kind of being textured using the GPU as opposed to the CPU. And yeah, shaders run very efficiently. So that's how you can kind of have these performant 3D and 2D graphics on a Raspberry Pi running in a browser.
Can you tell us the inspiration of making this?
Sure. I was inspired kind of by processing and the work of Casey Rees, who does kind of beautiful geometric art. These were all kind of part of my learning process in the class at Shader Time. So each one actually represents like a homework assignment I did. So that's why I'm calling them sketches. It's kind of like sketches in code.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. You can go to my website, nathantownsanderson.com, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
I cannot hear you. Can you repeat that?
Can you tell us your name and your project?
Okay, my name is Diana. This is my project. It's called Sunny Day in Washington Square Park, and it's a narrative simulation of Washington Square Park. So surprising. And basically, you can walk around the park and observe people, and there's a lot of characters. And because it's simulation, they all walk around and they do their own stuff, and you can either judge them or people watch or just wait and see them move, kind of like that.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this?
I use a software called Inform 7, and usually people use it to create interaction fiction narratives, just like text adventures.
What course is this project for?
This is for Computational Approaches to Narrative by Alison Parrish.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
Yes, my Instagram is this is the real Diana. If at least one person wants to follow me, I'll probably make it public even.
Thank you. Oh. Hi, can you tell us your name and about your project?
Yeah, I'm Kyrie. I'm Kathy Lee, and we are making an augmented reality experience for the American Museum of Natural History uh, for its biodiversity hall. Because the hall it was originally dim and not very good at like telling people the things that they want to convey. We built a web app for to guide people through it, and they can use their own phone to interact with the animals inside and learn about biodiversity.
Can you tell us your technique you use for this project?
We use Figma and Unity. The first is uh, we build like every pages that we want, and we put the pages into Unity, and we introduce the Unity AR to interact with that diorama, and that's how we use it. You can take a look at. We first take a challenge, and we can find and people learn about the animals while viewing, and they get a little card. So we will have 5 animals in total that we can learn. And then after the 5 animals, we are still working on building a food web experience for people to learn more about food web and the relationship between animals, which the museum think is very important for people to know about natural history, nature and also natural history, and the importance of wildlife.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
Your contact information?
Yeah, we have our QR code listed right here, so you feel free to scan it. Yeah, this is a collaboration project between me and Kyrie, and yeah, she's a really good teammate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which one? Hi, can you tell us your name and something about your project?
Hi, my name is Kara, and our project is called Interactive 3Dology Cards. This is a client work. It is designed for American Museum of Natural History. Yeah.
Can you tell us like the technique you use for this project?
So we have the physical card, and it is scannable. So if you scan a card, you will enter a AR environment, and it will pop up to the 3D website that we redesigned for the museum as well. So you want to see the demonstration of that? So yeah, you just pick up your phone and you scan the QR code on the website on the card, and then you will be entered to a web XR experience. Um, Everything is on the web, so you don't have to download any extra apps or application. And you look for the image on the app on the card, and it will pop up a AR experience. Yes, like this. And there's a blue button over there. You click on this, it will pop up to the 3D website that we rebuilt for the Ology website. So you can play and drag with the 3D model. And if you flip, you can read more information about the blue whale. Yeah, that's the idea for our product. And there's 3 sample cards that you can play with. And that's it. That's it.
Can you tell us your inspiration of this?
So we want to redesign the original website from Olive that is only 2D and digital. So we want to have more exposure for the website. So we built this physical card and also add more playful and interactable experience. So kids, so probably they can have a more playful experience when learning new knowledge.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share the contact information for us?
I think there's already information on the screen right now, and yeah, just enjoy the show. Every work here is great.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, can you tell us can you tell us your name and something about your project?
Right. Hi, I'm Steve. This is my thesis project, Out of Touch. Initially started as a material research turned into part human psychology research. I wouldn't say research per se, but like it's more like exploration and also like context sort of engineering or exploration, if you will. Um, Yeah. So what's gonna happen is like I invite people to touch and interact physically with my objects and materials, and see how they would react, and that would tell a lot about not only the objects themselves, the materials, but also about the person interacting with them, and also the context that I put them in. So yeah, that's about my project.
Can you tell us the process you making this?
Right. So I'm a woodworker. So I work with wood. I make stuff most often. So I make these objects usually either by hand in the wood shop, or by CNC, which is computer numeric control milling, where I can get pretty precise shapes and measurements done. And I also invited people for an interview. I recorded their hand gestures and then compiled them into this, I guess, video sculpture slash installation that you're seeing right now.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share the contact information for us?
Yeah, sure. Give me my Instagram. I laser cut it. I laser etched it over there specifically. I do this every year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then here is the
Kitty? Oh, should we do this? Okay. Awesome. Can you guys wait for me for a little bit and then do the live
Hi, can you tell us your name and about something about your project?
Yeah. Hi, I'm June, and this is called my project called If XR. It is an extended reality urban simulation, and it runs through the whole simulation to kind of do different tests of the possible XR future. Um, the reason why I'm doing this is because the XR market is not going very well in the past few years. So instead of asking why XR, I decided to do like if XR is true, how does it look like? And in here there are residents, and the residents have their own consumer and personality types. So you can track these people and see how they decide to use which kind of services in the day.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this project?
Yeah, so this is all running on Unreal Engine, and I used to study architecture, so I designed most of the architecture pieces in here.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information for us?
Yeah, so please scan here if you're more interested, and my Instagram tag is JUNES_BE. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and about your project?
I'm Edward. My name is Edward, and this project is Sound Waves. It's basically like an interactive virtual instrument. So basically, what users can do is they can stick their hands inside this box, and based on the position of their hands, you can hear something different through the headphones. And the box also will light up based on what's being shown on the how their hands are placed. And yeah, so this is what it looks like.
Oh,
We need like 1 second. We need like 1 second to reset everything. I think something happened. So if I can demo here, if I put my hands inside through the headphones, I'm able to hear like a certain type of sound. I don't know if this does this work. If I put my headphones on the mic, I don't know if this is too loud or. Is this working? I have no. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
What's your inspiration of this?
Yeah, so the inspiration of this project is, well, it's for a class called Interaction as Art Medium, and we basically studied different ways that interaction can be used to create different pieces. So one thing that we noticed was different, like, kind of intermedia kind of interaction. So using things like space to create sound. We were inspired by a different piece that used like visuals to translate that into sound. And so this is kind of exploring how 3D space, your hand movements can be can control a musical instrument.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
No, that's yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Hi. Can you tell us your name and your project?
Yes. Hi, my name is Lucy Kirakosyan. I'm first year ITP grad student, and I'm a creative technologist and product designer. And this project called Voskepar. And the idea behind is to create a platform, a way for people to interact with each other. And because of the difficult situation all over the world, and because everybody is mainly in their phones, I want to create a way that people can interact with each other. And this is interactive cube. So when you are in front of it and with your gestures when you're moving it from further and closer. Uh, you start to hear the sound and visual. So this should help people to connect with each other with interaction.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this? The technique.
Yes, the technical part, it is I'm using Arduino microcontroller and two distance sensor, which the triggered when you are in front of it, and I'm transmitting it to P5.js, and the visual part is projected through the projector on the surface of the box.
Uh, can you tell us what course is this project for?
Sorry?
The course the project for.
Oh yes, this is the code of music and intangible interaction.
Do you have something to suggest for the newcomers who want to take this class?
Yes, I would suggest that anybody who wants to create anything connected with tangible, and if they are so interested in music, they should definitely take this courses.
Okay, can you demo it one more time?
Actually, request two people if you want. Yes, I would say.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
It's lucykira.com, LUCYKIRA.
Thank you.
What? You don't really realize that the whole purpose of
Okay, so this one. Yeah, we're going to order because he's making unveiling path now.
And you can just directly do this that side, but here's the part. So I have to trigger this part first, then you can. So there was supposed to be the dialogue, but I removed my dialogue so there's time back. So right now it's a 50-50 guess. You can check this one, and the show results. Yeah, you got it? You can place it back to the robot. Hi. Hi. So this is my project. It's a interactive diorama game. Yeah, and currently the game ends. So it's a bad choice. It's okay. Okay. Can I need a minute to reset it?
I think it bugged, but okay. Yeah, now so yeah, so this is the game, and especially a interactive diorama or interactive board game. By starting the game, you can start here, basically placing this little part on here, and the magnets will trigger the signal and then will show a visual effect and a sound effect. And the general playthrough is basically follow the visual clues, and there will sometimes be some audio clues, and then you can just do the test accordingly. Like here, oh, sorry, the thing disconnects. Yeah, now it works. So just bring this out and turn on the lights, and you can just follow the visual guides and to do the process. And this project is basically for a proof of concept itself to see if the blend of interactivity and the dioramas can can work together. The myself is quite nice, but done just lacking a little bit. Trigger different tests by pressing buttons or like following these, placing them in. And for now, I will just do the red one, and this part opens, and you can place this in there. So turns on, and you can go here. And in order to got this, you need to turn this off by covering them with the cloth. And then you can get this one out, and you just need to place it in there. And this will drop down, and you can go there directly, but there's a little bug in my code, so you have to trigger this part first, and then you can go in. And because I'm currently kind of lagging the dialogue, so basically the 50 guess, and I will just choose this one for now. And then for the game to end, after your choice, you need to place it back in here, back in the drop pod, and the game will end. Yeah, so it's one playthrough.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
I actually don't have any contact information other than my Gmail. It's just the NYU Gmail ct2931.nyu.edu. And yeah, that's it. For my project, actually later I want to make it more unified and basically better than the current version. Current is just a working proof of concept. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Sure. My name's Ian Hawkins, and my project is Prophylactic Distraction. It's a meditation app that distracts you. Because if you've ever tried to meditate, you might become distracted on your own and then judge yourself harshly. So I figured if I distract you, you're halfway there. And once you sit down and get distracted, the whole purpose is to regain your focus and not to not become distracted at all. It has two types of meditation because in order to properly interrupt the default mode network, which is the cycle in your brain that gets stuck and is treated during psychedelic psychotherapies, people are either focused internally or externally. And that can change person to person and also moment to moment for any particular person. So before you sit down to meditate, you should really focus and try to figure out if what's more distracting to you is your internal bodily systems or the world around you. If it's the world around you, you're probably already meditating, right? You sit down and you focus on your breath. But if the thing distracting you is yourself, that's just going to make it worse. And the best thing to do is to put a point on the wall and focus on that externally. So this has both a two-way mirror and a projection behind it. So you can either focus on yourself in the reflection or the breath ball behind it.
Will you work on this for the future? Do you have a future plan on it?
Yes, so this is actually just in user testing at the moment. My thesis is due in 6 weeks, so I'm definitely going to be working on it for the next 6 weeks. And after that, I'm planning to get a much more concise, condensed version of it, so it's not so big. But yeah.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
Sure. You guys can find me at Brooklyn Humanist or The Brooklyn Humanist on all platforms.
Thank you. Do you want to do the interview?
Yeah, I can restart by explaining. Okay.
Can you tell us your name and your project?
Hello, I'm Anvay Kantak, and this is my project Whispering Windows.
Can you briefly introduce of it?
Yeah. So it is an interactive archive of my dreams and nightmares. But instead of making all the stories explicitly about my dreams, I created like a fictional world where these characters live out those dreams and they act as visual metaphors so people can interpret it in their own ways. This is the first part, which is the introduction. You can get like the backstory of each character. And yeah, once you have an idea about who they are, you can go to the second half where there's like a small house where you can slide up the windows to watch the stories play out.
Can you show the demo for us?
Yeah. The small house where you can slide up the windows and then you can watch the stories play out on the projection.
Can you tell us what technique you use for this?
Yeah, so I did all the animation in After Effects and then I compiled all of it in Unity to make it interactive. And then for this mini house, they have magnet sensors attached to each window, which triggers a key press in Unity, which then in turn triggers the animation.
What course is this project for?
Oh, it's for my thesis.
Oh, it's for your is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, Thank you.
Thank you so
Do you
much.
want to share your contact information with us?
Yeah. My Instagram is who is Anvay anyway, and my website is anvaykantak.com. And there's also free postcards over there if you want to just grab some on the other end.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Caroline, and my project is called Headlines from the Future. So basically, the concept is that this is a imaginary newspaper from the future. And before I get into the concept, just a trigger warning: the project contains mention of sexual violence. In case you're not comfortable. Basically the concept is that it's a imaginary newspaper from the future, and the headlines generated is based on recent headlines from India around rape and sexual violence targeted at minority women. The point I wanted to make was that if we don't do anything about it, the same pattern is going to keep repeating into the future as well. But it's also an interactive piece. So if the more people gather around the piece and start holding hands together, the more positive the news generation gets. I wanted to like convey that if we come together and work together, we can like break the pattern and build a better future. So that was like the point of the project.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this project?
Of course. So I used a platform called Tracery to generate the headlines. So the headlines you see is being generated based on the list of victims, the crimes that were done to them, and what happened to them. So that it's not like just a set of headlines that is being repeated again and again. Every time you interact with the piece, a new headline is being generated.
Um, what's this like this project for the course? What course is this project for?
It's I've combined knowledge from a class called Computational Approaches to Narratives and Investing in Futures together. So through computational approaches, I learned the technical aspects behind how to build a project like this. And in investing in futures, we learned elements about how we can imagine a better world and methods called backcasting to kind of put together a concept. I've also left a few white space around the project to help to kind of make people think about what kind of things they hope for and write it so that it just to get them thinking about how what kind of a hopeful future that they imagine themselves in.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
My Instagram handle is underscore o dot line line, and yeah, that's my contact.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
My name is Alice Zhang, and my project is called Design for Revolution. And it's a book that I wrote and designed about the impact of graphic design on the second wave feminist movement.
What technique do you use for this project?
Technique, I guess, a lot of research, a lot of historical research, and since I designed the whole thing myself, design techniques like graphic design, I suppose, and layout design and print design. And it was my first time designing for print.
What's your inspiration of making this?
I've always been really inspired by the graphic material coming out of this time period, so I wanted to really focus on that. And I think that female graphic designers have been kind of underrepresented in the grand scheme of activist movements and even feminist movements. So I wanted to kind of highlight their work and their achievements.
And can you show us the whole?
Yeah. So I printed this and bound this all by myself, spiral bound the whole book. And the book is organized into 5 chapters, which talk about 5 different ways that graphic design shaped different parts of feminism. So the first one is identity, which talks about the role that graphic design played in building a feminist identity. Then consciousness, which is about spreading educational resources and information. Liberation, which kind of deals with a wide array of political movements and activism. Communication, which talks about the spreading of independent feminist periodicals, newspapers, and magazines. And finally, design, which talks about the ways that female designers changed graphic design in the field of design from being very male centered.
Can you show the rest of the page for us?
Sure. I'll do a quick flip through, but at some point I'm gonna put the PDF of this online for everybody to see.
So, can you give us the like where you will post it?
Yes, it will be posted on my portfolio, which is alicesc.com. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you tell us your name and your project?
Sure. My name is Leanne, and my project is titled The New York Crimes, and it's an augmented reality project that annotates and corrects already existing New York Times headlines on particularly on the genocide and the war that's happening in Palestine right now.
Can you tell us the technique you use for this?
Yeah, so I use Lens Studio, which is specific to Snapchat, but uses augmented reality. And so when you scan the QR code, it should give you like a filter, which you then use the booklet to go through, and it gives you annotations on what exactly is going on in Palestine on the ground on this genocide and occupation, and relative to these specific headlines.
Can you demo it for us?
Yes, of course. So I already have the filter on my phone. Once you highlight it, the booklet says the New York Times.
but it's when you hover over it says in your crimes. This is an article, and then there is an annotation here. Deadly Israeli airstrike. Israel told Palestinians to move to. And then the last two pages are on how colleges have been handling the ongoing peaceful student protests. And so this is a call to disclose, divest, and free Palestine. And then this is about how NYU has NYPD arrest and pepper spray pro-Palestinian students in campus.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
The only thing I'd like to add on is I hope this starts a conversation and people keep talking about Palestine to stop the genocide and to free Palestine and for institutions to stop punishing pro-Palestinians.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Matthew. This is my project. Hello, I'm here. This is a set of remote communicative lamps. So there are two lamps that you could use as bedside or tableside lamps. And the idea is you send light and color animations across each other. It plays on this idea of like a shared understanding between you and the receiver. So they could mean anything from like a secret message to like a mood that's really up to you. So the idea is that you have two buttons, one button to select a color and one button to send a color. And then when you leave it, it will send a message over Wi-Fi to each other. And then every now and then you will get the messages and you will display both messages in this light color gradient. So the idea is that it shares both colors because I'm playing with this idea of like a remote presence thing. So it's kind of for people who have loved ones like living apart from them, but they still want to send like, hey, I'm home, or they want to be like, here's the mood for the day, that kind of thing. Yeah.
What technique do you use for this project?
Yeah, so this project is built on a custom printed circuit board underneath. Um, that's the only way to get it in this form. And then it's 3D printed keycaps and laser cut acrylic to form the shape of it. Yeah.
What is the course for this project?
Yeah, so this was for connected devices and homemade hardware. So both devices are connected over Wi-Fi, and they send data to a server and back to each other. And then homemade hardware is where I designed the circuit board for it and mailed it and to be used. And it's also linked to Nature of Code, although it's not being shown here, but it saves the data and is generating a sketch. It'll generate a sketch from it.
Thank you. Do you want to share your contact information with us?
Yeah, I think I left my email in it, but my website, but it's Matthew Lau JH, MATTHEWLAUJH.com.
Thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Yes, hi, my name is Henrique. This is called Question Your Desire.
Can you briefly introduce it?
Yes, of course. This is for a class called Cabinets of Wonder, in which we learn about exhibition design and museums in general. And this is a piece for the final assignment, which is when we design our own exhibition as a class. This was my piece that was in it. And it's a reflection on my own perspective of desire, but I also invite people to think of their own perspectives of desire by overlapping Instagram posts that were under the hashtag desire, the TikTok feed that you get once you search for desire, and also classical art that represents subjectively desire throughout history. So I overlapped all of those with two different projectors so you could play around with the shadows and have like different perspectives on desire and maybe like see yourself in it, see your shadow in it, see your reflection in it, and wonder what is your desire about.
Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
Yeah, of course. My Instagram is at Enrique Stockler, which is my first and last name.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you tell us your name and your project?
Yeah, my name is Andre Lira. This is my project called Sonoluminescence. Essentially, it is a music visualizer that you can do in two fashions. One is a manual mode where you play on a keyboard and it lights up some LEDs. And the second one is like a pre-made one where I have these different video game themes, and it kind of plays according to that. So in this mode, you can control various things, right? So there's visuals, there's the color of the LEDs. So in this case, it's red and green, which is yellow, red, green, blue, which is white. I can also affect the kind of decay of the lights. So, if I like hit one, it kind of has this fading effect versus instantaneous. Um, there's, the sound can be changed from a sine wave to a triangle to a square wave, and the attack and release of the sound can be affected. So it's an experiment in kind of like visualizing music. I wanted to do this because I'm a musician myself, and I like the kind of combination of music and visuals. And yeah, it's just fun to play with.
Can you demo it for us?
Sure. I mean, if I'm playing something
Thank you. Do you have anything to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
sure, my Instagram is it's called Docta Jeep. It's DOCTAJEEP.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, can you tell us your name and your project?
Sure, I'm Aradhita Maheshwari, and my project is called the Magic 8 Cube. So this is inspired by the Magic 8 ball, which works on probability. So when you shake it, you get different responses. Here we've got the cube, and you can touch it and ask a question. Is it a good day today? Yes or no? And it's going to load a response and give you an answer. Flip a coin. So we've got a bunch of different answers randomized based on your body heat. And yeah, it's an interesting piece to play with, to have in your office space or a gallery or with your friends.
What technique you use for this project?
So I've got two sensors here. I've got the proximity sensor that starts the cube, and I've got the humidity sensor that detects your body heat. And that's how it works.
Can you demo it one more time for us?
Sure. So I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna ask a question. Sorry, it's gonna start again. Yeah. So is it raining outside today? Are you serious? So it's gonna give you these funny responses. Yep. Uh,
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at the rate underscore Aradhita, ARADHITA, or email me on aradhita.work@gmail.com. So,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Hi, can you tell us your project and your name?
Sure. Hi, I'm Sunny from ITP first year. This is my project called 100 Days of 3D Modeling. So I basically use Blender as the tool, and then I started from zero, starting from my day one to learn Blender, and then I make a series of scenes every day. Yeah, so you can kind of see my progress, and I put all of my progress into like one video so that people can kind of see my everyday progress in Blender, and then you can also see my day count. So it's around like 70 something days right now.
Can you tell us your inspiration of this?
Inspiration. Um, I feel like it's because I have like zero backgrounds in 3D modeling, and then I also want to learn some 3D stuff and also how to make 3D models. So I take this class called 100 Days of Making, and then I pick Blender as my topic to do this practice.
Do you have any suggestion for the like newcomers to this class?
I feel like it needs a lot of commitment, and then you need to keep working like every day, and then you just need to kind of devote yourself into this project and just stick to it and don't give up. Yeah.
Can we have a close look of this?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add on, or do you want to share your contact information with us?
Yeah. So here is my Instagram account for my 100 days. So if anyone is interested, you can just follow me. I will also start another 100 days during this summer.
Thank you. Hi, this is the end of today's live stream, and this is all the project on the fourth floor on our spring show. Uh, we will leave now, but come back at tomorrow, like 4:40. We will be live stream our other project on the second floor. Thank you.
Bye.